31 seats out of 48 translates to 65% of the seats won. If we project the same 65% victory percentage in assembly, then out of 288 assembly seats, we're looking at something like 183 seats. BJP appears to be in a panic mode. Why do I say that they're in panic mode? Take the example of announcement of election dates. Now, they don't seem to be agreeing on a name for the BJP president. And Mr. Modi would not like to create another power center. He would not like a very powerful man to become the BJP president at this juncture, when he's about to turn 75 next year. So one of the speculations that is being made, of course it is their business, not our business, but we have to watch what's happening there. Then Mr. Fadnavis will be removed from the scenario in the state and will be taken to Delhi as a president. He'll be sort of kicked upstairs. Then he has employed some election consultant at 200 crore rupees, and he has asked him to wear all yellow, all pink clothes. It's a childish prank, I think.
Sir, the Maha Vikas Aghadi did extremely well in Lok Sabha elections. Now we are heading towards assembly elections. How well prepared is Congress and Maha Vikas Aghadi?
No, we are in the election mode even before the Lok Sabha elections were called. And that election mode continues. We knew that the assembly elections will follow the Lok Sabha elections within few months. So nobody has cooled down. We're in the election mode. And the people of Maharashtra seem to have decided to throw the BJP government out. Many people said that Lok Sabha result was unexpected. I don't agree. In my every interaction with major news outlets, my interviews given to various publications which are in print and it's available right now, we had predicted that MVA will get about 32 seats.
You had told me also to our magazine.
Told you also
elections.
that.
Yes.
And that was not a bravado, but based on solid analysis of the various regions of Maharashtra. There are 6 divisions, administrative divisions, and broadly 4 or 5 geographical divisions. And we were pretty close to what we had expected, except the Satara seat which the NCP fought. We are absolutely sure of winning that. We lost that by a very narrow margin. And in a couple of cases, the seats got interchanged. We're not sure of one seat, but we got that seat, and which we're sure of, we did not get. So one seat which we should have got.
You were saying.
No, Sangli was sure.
Okay.
There were some other seats.
Okay.
So it was very close, and unfortunately, had we played our cards right, all the 3 parties together, correct selection of candidates, proper, strategy to counter the use of money that the government put in, buying of votes and all, we could have got another 4 seats. One seat we lost by 48 seats. That election petition is going on. So ultimate outcome may even be 32 seats and not 31 as we say today. But what does it mean? 31 seats out of 48 translates to 65% of the seats won. If we project the same 65% victory percentage in assembly, then out of 288 assembly seats, we're looking at something like 183 seats.
Interesting.
That's one way to look at it. It could be more or less whatever.
Yeah.
But there is a upbeat mood in the Congress party, in the MV alliance. We are absolutely strong. Whatever attempts are being made by vested interests to show that there are some differences is not true at all. As a matter of fact, I'm just coming back from a Rajiv Gandhi Jayanti celebration, which happened just a couple of hours back, where Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray shared the stage with Mr. Kharge, who would come down from Delhi, and with Mr. Chanitala and others of our party. So we are very strong. We are sensing that we are going to cause an upset. And the fact that BJP appears to be in a panic mode. Why do I say that they're in panic mode? Take the example of announcement of election dates.
I was coming to that next
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
So that is very clear indication that they are in a panic mode. They're in a serious panic mode, and they expect that they may score a victory in Haryana, which may bring some positive vibes in the next elections. Surprising thing is they didn't even call the 10 by-elections in UP.
Mm.
Haryana and Maharashtra have always gone together after the delimitation in 2009, 2014, 2019. Why now you segregate them? If you say that there is Jammu Kashmir election, that's laughable because they conducted Lok Sabha election where Jammu
Correct.
Kashmir and Maharashtra and Haryana, everybody voted together. So that doesn't wash at all. It is clearly a political decision. And we know that lot has been said about the so-called independence of the election commission. So let's tell the better. I think there is a panic. There's a talk that Devendra Fadnavis, who they hold largely responsible for creating rift between Marathas and OBCs, which backfired. That Mr. Devendra Fadnavis may be removed from the scene in Maharashtra and taken to Delhi, some pretext or the other. It may not happen because they don't have a replacement. They're cursing their decision to take Mr. Ajit Pawar in the party when they did not need them, particularly after the remarks by the Prime Minister that about the NCP.
Yes.
So, how can they now, how do they get out of the situation? So there is a panic, and Congress party is in a upbeat mood. We'll go into serious seat negotiations soon. We already begun the preliminary discussions. There's a manifesto committee. BJP has tried to use the ultimate weapon of giving 1,500 rupee to women under that Dear Sister scheme, Ladki Bahin scheme.
I wanted to ask same thing. Today, Badlapur incident happened, the rape of two minor, very small girls, and this is the incident. And then government is announcing schemes like Ladki Bahin. Is it an attempt to purchase votes?
No, well, I look at it differently. I think people have called it a freebie, people have called it all sort of names. But I think if you look at the inflation situation over 10 years, the mishandling of the Indian economy by Modi, particularly the thoughtless decision about demonetization, about sudden imposition of GST, sudden imposition of lockdown, which completely destroyed the small and medium sector, and the again thoughtless imposition of 3 agricultural amendments to the 3 agricultural laws, and the agitation of the farmers, which went on for more than a year. All these things have really rocked the economy, and control of the government on managing economy doesn't seem to be there. That is why they're not able to run. They don't have enough finances to run the government, pay the salary, pay the pensions. That's why first government borrows heavily. From 58 lakh crores, we've gone to about close to 200 lakh crores.
Yes.
Even that is not enough. So you tax the people. The easiest tax to collect is on diesel, petrol, gas. And knowing fully well that it will hurt the people, they still had to tax it. They collected 32 lakh crore rupees in 10 years on diesel, petrol, taxation alone. Then there is GST on essential commodities, which would hurt the people. Then electricity tariff, then every single thing, household commodities. Look at the amount stolen by the government from the households in form of cooking gas prices, in form of diesel, petrol prices, in form of GST imposition, in overall inflation which happens if you impose such taxation. Now, I think government is trying to return that money back willy-nilly. And so I think 1,500 is not enough. I would say that this money deservedly should be given, number one. But it should be given as a...
Deservedly meaning?
I mean, women deserve it.
Okay.
The money that is being given, they need much more than 1,500, number one. Second thing, it should be given as a right. It should be given as a social security payment. Those people who don't have a job, from farm sector and all that. So just like the UPA government created lot of legislation which was rights based. So we really set up new grounds in doing rights based legislation, whether it's right to work in Banrega, right to food, right to education, right to so many things, right to information and all. So my point is, and when we will go ahead and we'll convert this scheme into a right. That means women can go to the collector office and say, look, give me this money, this is my right. Rights-based legislation.
So will you increase the amount?
And maybe I think we have done 2,000 rupee per month in Karnataka, and we are given them. We are given 2,500 in Telangana. We are given them. So it is original Congress idea. I would say original. I mean, idea has been floating around all over the world under the name of minimum basic income.
Okay.
So as a part of minimum basic income, it's a variation of that. So I think giving money to the needy with conditions, without conditions, could differ. The minimum basic income condition does not have any condition. Everybody gets a minimum return from government. It is a reverse taxation. You collect tax money from us and I'm giving you back to them.
But some bureaucrats told me a state like Maharashtra can't afford 46,000 crores is something like they are saying for this Ladki Bahin.
I would say it's 48,000 crores because I suggested some amendment to the scheme.
Okay.
That is from 60 years with the cutoff.
65.
So they made it 65. So that
you also asked for extension of 31st August.
Also that. So, and more important, the unmarried woman in the household over 21 should have been given. Why should there be a distinction? If the lady doesn't want to get married, why should be deprived?
Correct.
Why should be a restriction of 65? The lady is 66 years old and the children are not looking after her, or she's destitute. Why shouldn't she be given?
Yes.
So government did agree to some of the conditions. I wanted no upper age limit at all. And so I think the amount will be likely to be 48,000 crores if the numbers that government has come up, 2.5 lakh rupee income limit. Yes, it will stretch the government finances. I'll just briefly touch upon the government finances. When the government produced the second budget this year, first in February was the interim budget, pre-Lok Sabha election budget, and there was a second budget in June of 2024. So that budget, they showed a fiscal deficit of 1,10,000 crores. That means the expenditure that government was planning was more by 1,10,000 than the revenue that they expected to get. That's a fiscal deficit for you. Within a matter of a week, they brought a supplementary demand for 94,000 crores, which adds up to 2,04,000 crores. Now, after that, they have announced a program to concretize all the tar roads. So that program is 36,000 crores. If you add that, I don't think that's been shown in any budgetary allocation yet. If you add that, then you're looking at a number of 2,40,000 to 50,000 crores. You find it will even show more. That is close to 5% of the GDP. Now, FRBM law, the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act mandates, well, I'd say mandate, but the guidelines show that your fiscal deficit should not be more than 3%. It is now touching 5%. So is it sustainable?
That's a clear danger sign.
It is absolutely a danger sign for the next government when it comes. So that way, are they trying to buy votes? It's your interpretation. Many people have called it that. That is a last desperate attempt to win the election. But I don't think that will succeed because women are demanding more, that they are angry, they were cheated with the LPG gas price increase, with the diesel petrol price increase, with the electricity price increase, with the GST on essential commodities. They're very angry. And our campaign will be that this is just a compensation for the loot they have done over the 10 years, and that's not enough. And it is because of the failure to handle the Indian economy that this will come to this pass. I don't think they'll get huge benefit out of it.
Sir, do you think I mean, you talked about Uddhav Thackeray. Do you think he is again trying to convince Congress's central leadership that he should be declared chief minister face? He also made that demand when you were there on the praise that Prithviraj ji, aap naam suggest kijiye. And
no, I think it's a difference of perception. NCP and Congress have been into a coalition situation from year 1999. And the time-honored formula was whichever party gets more number of MLAs, they get to choose the chief minister of their choice.
So Vilas Rao became Sushil Kumar Shinde.
And there was no
yes,
question of
yes.
half and half and all that. Those
Yes.
issues were never there.
Mm.
Now we are in a new situation of three-party pre-poll alliance. The formula, why did Mr. Uddhav Thackeray become the chief minister? Because he had the highest number of MLAs in 2019. He had 56. The next largest party, NCP, had 54. We had 45. So without
Same
questions,
formula was
we accepted that. So this has been a time-honored family. If he wants to change that, if you have some other ideas, I mean, I'm sure the Delhi High Command will definitely discuss with him. We all will sit down and discuss with him. But I think more important thing today before us is to defeat the BJP. Extremely corrupt government. The way they created the government by buying MLAs with the full knowledge of the High Command and rather connivance of the High Command. Never seen. The entire anti-defection law was thrown to the wind. The constitutional functionary connived, and it's a very sad story.
You know Devendra Fadnavis very well. Did you expect this kind of politics from him?
But I think it was not his idea. Perhaps it was forced on him from top.
Okay.
So I think
you give him benefit of doubt.
No, I don't know who did it. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
But I think this could not have happened without express blessings of the top two in Delhi.
I wanted to. Since we spoke about BJP, RSS has been very critical of Ajit Pawar's inclusion into the alliance. How does Congress look at this criticism?
No, it is none of our business actually. But as a political analyst, we must know what's happening in the country. It includes BJP and the Sangh Parivar also. So one of the things that Mr. Bhagwat was sort of critical after the elections. He said, he talked about pride and he talked about ghamand, that it's not good to have, arrogance. Then Indresh Kumar, another senior functionary, said that Lord Rama ordained that BJP shall not cross 240.
Yeah.
So, and that again, it talked about arrogance. So there is a talk in the RSS camp about arrogance of the ruling duo or ruling dispensation BJP. There's an interesting question about the BJP, next president of the BJP. Recently you must have read that there was a serious meeting in Delhi at the residence of Mr. Rajnath Singh, where three of the BJP people, Amit Shah, Mr. Nadda, and Rajnath Singh on one side, and Mr. Hosbole, then Mr. BL Santosh, and another functionary. Serious 5-hour-long meeting took place where the next president of the BJP was discussed, as reported in the newspapers, and also they took stock of the performance of the BJP, particularly in UP and Maharashtra, particularly in Maharashtra, because we're going into assembly elections there, among other things. Now, they don't seem to be agreeing on a name for the BJP president. And Mr. Modi would not like to create another power center. He would not like a very powerful man to become the BJP president at this juncture, when he's about to turn 75 next year. I mean, he himself has set a rule that
75
people with 75 should retire.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very critical scenario. Yeah. So I think what they might do is they'll appoint a working president to test the waters, like Mr. Nadda was appointed as the working president in 19, and then confirm later. But who? So one of the speculations that is being made, of course it is their business, not our business, but we have to watch what's happening there. Then Mr. Fadnavis will be removed from the scenario in the state and will be taken to Delhi as a president, will be sort of kicked upstairs, or he may even be made a minister in Delhi, whatever. But I think the tension between the Sangh Parivar and BJP is
evident,
discernible. BJP, the RSS is going to have an annual Sammelan, whatever you call it, Samanvayik Baitak.
Okay.
31st August, 1st and 2nd September in Palakkad, Kerala.
Okay.
Where all the Hindutva organizations, including the BJP, they consider BJP as one of the organizations, one of the wings of the RSS.
Okay. frontal
organization,
Yeah.
including Hindu Vishwa Hindu
Yeah,
Parishad and
yeah.
all the
Mm.
labor unions and agriculture, all of them meet in annual Samanvaya Baitak. And they want the president to be nominated before that. So will it be a full-fledged president or will it be a working president? We don't know. But there is a tension because there's also a rumor that Prime Minister wanted to remove Mr. Yogi from UP Chief Minister's position, but Sangh Parivar put its foot down. So there are not all is not well there. Particularly when you're not very nothing succeeds like success, they say, and success has many fathers. But when you start losing, then you find the scapegoats. So I think it's interesting.
Sir, will Rahul Gandhi be campaigning only for Congress or for all MVA, and will he be campaigning extensively in Maharashtra?
No, I don't know how extensively, but he'll definitely be campaigning for the MVA, the India Alliance. The India Alliance is the All India Alliance, but the manifestation in Maharashtra is largely MVA, but this time we are insisting that it will not be only three parties, but many smaller parties like the Peasants and Workers' Party, the Communist parties, and some other parties also that come along. On the other hand, BJP is trying to make sure that many small splinter parties contest and divide the opposition. I personally feel that major reason for success in Maharashtra in the Lok Sabha election was absence of division of opposition. Largely a bipolar contest with only 4 or 5 seats where there was serious triangular contest. Otherwise, votes were not divided. And we intend to do the same thing now.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you, next thing is essentially your campaign. Now, like Karnataka, where you successfully did 40% CM, 40% commission government, do you have something similar, strong catch line for Maharashtra?
Well, one catch line which is going on a very long time is Pannas Khoke Ekdam Utte. That will continue. Even if you want to erase it, it will not go.
Okay.
Of course, the PR team is thinking of new slogans and all that, but corruption. See, let me go back a little and reiterate. In the Lok Sabha election, we campaigned on 5 themes: the inflation, the berozgari, the unemployment, the farmers' issues, the corruption, both the financial corruption through contracts and transfers and posting, and moral corruption when you brought down the government, the political corruption, and of course the Samvidhan Bachao, which they sort of gave a full toss to us about that. And Mr. Devendra Fadnavis is saying it's a false narrative. That is not a false narrative. It was Prime Minister who said we want 400 par. And it is the BJP MPs who said we want 2/3 majority to change the constitution. We didn't set it up. We, of course, picked it up and carried it. And it had a huge impact. But corruption was the overall corruption of administration, corruption of the naitik bhashtachar, the moral corruption of bringing the government down. But now, a different corruption. The corruption of MLAs. The 80 odd MLAs who switch parties for money, for inducements, other inducements like power and positions and ministerships and all that. But when they go back to their constituencies to get re-elected, question is the voters are going to ask them that we gave our vote to you last time, we trusted you, and you sold that trust for 50 crore rupees. And what are they going to say to that? So I think all the 80 MLAs who are facing re-election, whether it is Eknath Shinde's group or whether it's Ajit Pawar group, are going to have to answer this question, and that will be our main theme in the election.
Talking about Ajit Pawar, after resounding defeat in Lok Sabha, do you think he's facing existential crisis now?
I won't comment on that, but the way his shenanigans, and he has employed some election consultant at 200 crore rupees, and he has asked him to wear all yellow, all pink clothes. It's a childish prank, I think. I mean, people are not going to be swayed by the color that you wear, or the jacket that you wear, or the color of your advertisements, or color of the posters, and all that. Then he is confused. He's saying that I will not contest Baramati. Whether he's afraid of losing, he says my children will contest. The fact that he nominated his wife for Rajya Sabha, alone for Rajya Sabha seat that year. I mean, it's not something very exciting or it's going to be motivating his cadres. I think I wouldn't put it that way. I don't know whether uh, it's an existential crisis for him or not. But yes, I think he's not done well. Uh, but for a little error of judgment in the lone seat that you won, his party won, we should have won that seat, because this time there was not only Shiv Sena fighting the election, but Congress was supporting, NCP was supporting, and PWP was supporting. So we shouldn't have really lost that election. There is introspection going on, but had that seat been lost, then he would have been wiped out of the political map.
Which brings me to next question, since we are talking about its victory, I mean NCP Ajit Pawar's victory in Raigad district. Do you think Uddhav Thackeray has sympathy but is not able to convert that sympathy into votes?
No, I would say, I mean, they'll have to introspect. Um, I'm not an expert of what happened in various parties, but I mean, sure, they'll introspect again what went wrong. Whether seat in Aurangabad which you lost, there was a Maratha versus OBC, like almost a cyclone kind of a thing. So in that perspective, was it the correct choice, or how did they lose so many seats in Konkan belt? That needs to be introspected.
During Lok Sabha election, Sharad Pawar Saab said that smaller parties will merge with Congress. Now that he is aging, do you think NCP should merge with Congress?
I'm not going to speculate on that.
Okay.
He said what he said during the election campaign. It was a general statement that if Congress emerges stronger, then there will be attempt to for the largest party to.
Because you were there when he made that statement.
Yes. I think he made that statement, and I think we still have to wait what happens, because realignment in Maharashtra is not over yet, and things are happening. So there is speculation that some parties may move here and there. We'll have to wait. We'll see what happens.
Just one last question, sir. If Congress is the single largest party, who do you think will become chief minister?
That's a completely irrelevant question. I think, again, if I go back to the traditions and all that, Congress party high command sends observers, takes a sense of the MLAs and decides a name in the larger interest of the party. So they usually do not name a person before elections, unless the person happens to be chief minister. Then he becomes a natural face. But when in the opposition party, we normally don't do that. But there has been a demand from Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. High command will discuss that. They want to change the Congress policies. It's up
Is
to the
High Command overawed by Uddhav Thackeray? Because to change policies for...
No, but policy has not been changed.
Okay.
So if it is changed, then we could discuss that. But I think that's not going to, unlikely to happen. Because see, let's not forget, in 2019, why did we select Mr. Uddhav Thackeray? Because he was the largest party. Now, whom he selected was his choice. There were 2-3 names being debated on that. Was his choice. Now, also it is necessary for stability. Because very small parties, supposing, for example, I don't want to dwell on it, and because it will seem like we're having some differences within MBA. We don't have any difference at all. But just for argument's sake, supposing we name XYZ, and that party doesn't do too well in the election, then what happens? And so, for stability purpose, although it's not a sufficient condition, it's good that there is a larger party heads the government for stability. But what happens in the future, I cannot speculate.
Just last one. Is 180 your number for MBA?
No, I just said
mathematical calculation.
One of the options and all that.
Okay.
Mr. Pawar has talked of 225.
Yes, he has. Correct.
And then our people shouted at me when I said, I just gave a mathematical number that 65% translates to 183.
Yes.
But they said, no, why did you say 183? It should be more than 200.
Yeah.
So, fine. Okay. I mean, we are upbeat. There won't be division of votes, which is the big thing. We have clear focus. BJP appears to be panicky. Particularly, the election date choice is completely, they cannot explain why they did that. And, if they're worried about, they hope to win with Haryana and then have some positive impact on Maharashtra, that will not happen, because they're also losing Haryana badly.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Always pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.